The rain was light that night, soft enough to make everything glow. Liam pulled me closer under his jacket and whispered, "You know, one day, I'm going to marry you." I laughed. "You've been saying that since our first date." "And I meant it every time," he said, brushing a wet strand of hair from my face. "I just need to get that promotion first. Then I'll make it official," I smiled, believing him completely. "You don't have to wait for anything. I'd marry you even if we lived in a one-room apartment." He grinned. "That's what I love about you. You see the world with heart, not numbers." I remember thinking how lucky I was. We stood by the river, our reflections trembling in the water like the future we dreamed of, fragile but full of light. Later, when we got home, I made us tea while he scrolled through his phone. "You've been quiet," I said. "Work stress," he muttered. "I've got late meetings this week. New client." "You always have new clients," I teased. "Should I be jealous?" He smirked without looking up. "Only if the clients start making me dinner like you do." I laughed, though something about his tone felt distant. I pushed the thought away. Love shouldn't come with suspicion. The next day, I told my sister Sophie, "He's going to propose soon." I can feel it, she arched an eyebrow. "He said that?" "Almost," I said, pouring coffee. "He's been talking about the future. Our apartment, a car, maybe even moving to the city." She smiled, half convinced. "Just make sure you're not the only one planning the future." "I'm not," I insisted, though my voice trembled slightly. "He loves me." That evening, we went to dinner with his mother. The restaurant was elegant, and I'd never felt so out of place. Mrs. Carter's eyes scanned me like I was an exam she didn't plan to pass. "So, Ava," she said, slicing her steak neatly. "You still working at that small marketing firm?" "Yes," I replied, smiling politely. "I'm hoping to lead my own campaign soon." She nodded, lips tight. "Ambitious. Though I imagine Liam's career will require different circles." "Mother," Liam said sharply. "That's enough." I tried to ease the tension. "It's okay. I know I don't exactly fit the Carter family mold." Liam reached for my hand under the table and squeezed it. "You fit my world. That's all that matters." My heart softened instantly. I didn't notice his phone buzzing beside his plate, screen lighting up with a message he ignored too quickly. On the drive home, I asked lightly, "Who keeps texting you?" He smiled. "Work again." "You really are jealous." "Maybe I just miss you," I whispered. He kissed my hand. "Don't worry. After this month, everything will change." I believed him. Every word, every promise. I didn't know then how easily love could sound like forever right before it breaks.
It happened on a Tuesday, ordinary, harmless, and cruel. Liam had left his phone on the couch while showering. I wasn't looking for anything. I just wanted to play music. Then a notification lit up the screen. Asterisk, "I can't wait to be yours. Love, Clara." For a moment I froze. My fingers hovered, shaking. Curiosity, or maybe instinct, made me open the thread. Dozens of messages. "Last night was perfect. Should never find out. You make me feel alive." I felt my heart pound like it wanted to break through my ribs. When he came out, towel around his waist, I whispered, "Who's Clara?" He stopped mid-step. "What?" "Don't," I said quietly. "Just tell me who she is." He looked at me, eyes darting to the phone in my hand. "You went through my messages?" I laughed bitterly. "I wasn't looking. Your secrets came to me." He ran a hand through his hair, muttering, "I didn't plan for you to find out like this." "Find out what, Liam?" My voice trembled, but I didn't care. "That you've been lying to me? That everything you said, every promise, was fake?" He sat down slowly, face blank. "It wasn't fake. I just met someone. I almost shouted. "You're cheating on me and you call her someone?" "She's different," he said softly. "Clara understands the kind of life I want." I stared at him, barely breathing. "And what am I, Liam? A mistake?" He looked away. "You were good to me, but she's better for my future." Something inside me cracked open. "Your future?" My voice rose. "You mean her father's company? Her money?" He didn't answer. Silence was louder than truth. I slapped him before I realized I'd moved. The sound echoed through the room, sharp and final. Was any of it real? He touched his cheek, still calm. I did love you, Eva, but love doesn't pay bills. My throat tightened. Then I hope your bills keep you warm at night. He sighed. Don't make this harder than it has to be. I laughed through tears. You destroy my life, and I'm making it harder. He looked annoyed, as if I were interrupting his day. You'll move on. You're strong. I believed you, I said, voice cracking. Every word, every dream. I built my life around your promises. He turned away. I'm sorry. No, you're not, I whispered. You're relieved. He didn't deny it. I dropped his phone on the table. The screen lit again, another text from Clara. See you tonight, love. That was the moment the world tilted. My legs gave way, but I forced myself to stand. Get out, I said quietly. He hesitated. Ava, get out. The door closed behind him. I stood there, shaking, staring at nothing, realizing that forever had just ended with a message I was never meant to see. The moment the door slammed, silence swallowed everything. I stood in the middle of my apartment, staring at the floor like it could explain what went wrong. Then I saw the framed photo of us on the shelf, his smile pressed against mine, and something inside me snapped. I threw it. The glass shattered against the wall. You promised me forever, I whispered, voice breaking. The words echoed, taunting. I grabbed another frame, then another, until my floor was covered in broken glass and the ghosts of what used to be love. My knees gave in, and I sank to the floor, hugging myself as if that could stop me from falling apart completely. The tears wouldn't stop. Why wasn't I enough? I muttered into the silence. What did she have that I didn't? Hours passed without meaning. My phone buzzed again and again, unknown numbers, work reminders, maybe him, but I couldn't move. I just stared at the pieces of our memories scattered around me, dot by midnight. My chest hurt so much I thought my heart might actually stop. I wanted it to. I wanted the pain to just end. The door opened suddenly. Ava? Sophie's voice trembled. Oh my God. I looked up through tears. He's gone. She rushed over, kneeling beside me. I know, sweetie. I clung to her. He chose someone else, Soph. He looked me in the eye and said she was better for his future. She held me tighter. He doesn't deserve your tears. I can't stop them, I choked out. They just keep coming. She brushed my hair back gently. Then let them. Cry until there's nothing left. But don't you dare believe this is your fault. I gave him everything, I whispered. Every part of me. And he threw it away. That says more about him than you. We sat there for hours, her hand on my back, my sobs echoing in the quiet. By sunrise, I felt hollow, like my soul had bled out overnight. Sophie stood up and looked around. You need to eat something. I can't, I said. Food tastes like cardboard. Sleep feels like drowning. She sighed softly. You'll survive this? I promise. Survive what? I muttered. There's nothing left to survive for. She didn't argue. She just kissed my forehead. Then survive for me. When she left, I stayed on the floor, staring at the light creeping through the curtains. Days blurred after that. I didn't go to work. Didn't answer calls. My apartment smelled like dust and regret. Every corner held a memory I wanted to erase. Then, one night, my phone buzzed again, this time from Daniel. My boss. Daniel, you're stronger than this. Come back to work. Don't let him take everything from you. I stared at the screen for a long time. Maybe he was right. Maybe I couldn't feel strong yet. But for the first time in days, I wanted to try. Walking into the office that Monday felt like walking into a storm I didn't see coming. Everyone was whispering about a new client, big name, high stakes. I didn't care. I just wanted to keep my head down and breathe. Then Daniel called out, Ava, meet our newest account, Clara Hart and her company. I froze. The name hit like a slap. When I turned, she was standing there, flawless, confident, smiling like she hadn't stolen the man I loved. And next to her, Liam. Hello, Ava, she said sweetly. I've heard so much about you. My throat tightened. I wish I could say the same. Liam's eyes flickered. Ava, we should keep things professional. Of course, I said, forcing a polite smile. Wouldn't want to mix business with history. The meeting started, but I barely heard a word. Clara spoke like she owned the room, her manicured fingers occasionally brushing Liam's arm. Every touch was a knife I couldn't show. When Daniel asked for my input, I straightened. We can refine your brand message to sound more authentic, I said coolly. People respond to honesty. Clara smirked. Honesty is subjective, don't you think? Liam shifted uncomfortably. Let's move on, he muttered. My pulse raced, but I didn't let it show. I smiled, the kind that hurts more than tears. Sure, let's move on. When the meeting ended, Clara leaned close enough for only me to hear. You look tired. Breakups can do that. I met her gaze. And guilt can too. Her smile faltered for half a second before she turned away. Arm brushing Liam's again. I made it through the day, pretending I was made of stone. But when I got home, the silence cracked me open. I stared at my reflection in the mirror, eyes swollen, soul bruised. You won't see me break again, I whispered to the girl in the glass. She looked just as doubtful as I felt. I sat at my desk, opened my laptop, and started typing. The words poured out faster than the tears. I couldn't cry anymore. He broke me. She watched. But I'm still breathing. That night, Ashes to Empire was born, my secret blog, my confession booth, my battlefield. I didn't use my name. I didn't need to. Every post was a piece of my pain stitched into someone else's story. Days passed. Comments began to appear. This saved me. I thought I was alone. Your words feel like mine. Reading them felt strange, like my pain had found purpose. Daniel noticed me smiling at my screen one morning. New project? He asked, something like that. I said quietly. Just rebuilding. He nodded. Good. Whatever it is, don't stop. That night, I checked my reflection again. My eyes still carried pain, but behind it, something new flickered resolve. I whispered, let them watch. I'm not breaking, I'm becoming. It started small, one post a week, a few hundred readers, but then thousands. People from everywhere wrote to me. He betrayed me too. Your words helped me breathe again. Their pain became my power. Every story they sent felt like a flame lighting inside me. Daniel walked into my office one afternoon, holding his tablet. Ava, he said, eyes wide. You didn't tell me you were Ashes to Empire. I froze. You read it? Accidentally, he said, grinning. It popped up in a marketing trend report. Your writing raw, sharp, it's incredible. Use it. For what? I asked cautiously. For us, he said. Turn it into a campaign. A series about healing through truth. It'll draw clients who want authenticity. I hesitated. You think my pain is marketable? I think it's gold, he replied. You took heartbreak and made people listen. That's power, Ava. His words echoed long after he left. Power. I hadn't felt that in months. That night, I read new comments. You made me want to start over. You're turning pain into art. I smiled for the first time without forcing it. Maybe Daniel was right. 2 days later, whispers started at the office. Someone mentioned Liam's company losing major clients. I tried to ignore it until Sophie called. You're not going to believe this, she said. Liam's firm got hit by a data leak. Big names pulling out. My heart skipped. Clara's company? Exactly. Word is she mishandled client info. Karma's catching up fast. I laughed softly, a sound that felt foreign. Guess I don't need revenge after all. Sophie chuckled. Still feels good, doesn't it? Better than I expected, I admitted. That night, I sat by my window, city lights reflecting against the glass. For months, I'd begged the universe for justice. Now it was unfolding without my hand. Then my phone buzzed. Liam calling. I stared at the screen. My pulse quickened. I let it ring twice before answering. What do you want? Ava, his voice cracked slightly, please. I need to talk. About what? How Clara's scandal's tanking your reputation. He sighed. It's not what you think. I didn't know she'd ruin you. I cut in. Just like you ruined me. Ava, please. Can we meet? I need to explain. My hands shook, but not from sadness control. Explain what? That karma moves faster than you thought. Ava, I'm done being your audience, I said, voice calm, steady. You made your choice. Now live with it. I hung up before he could answer. Silence filled the room, warm and clean. I leaned back, exhaling. For the first time, his name didn't hurt. I opened my blog and started typing, some betrayals don't need revenge. Sometimes the world balances itself while you heal. And as the comments poured in, I whispered, you were right, Daniel. My pain is gold. The cafe smelled the same burnt espresso, vanilla syrup, a trace of nostalgia that made my stomach twist. I chose the same corner table where he once said, you're my forever. Now, it just felt ironic that when Liam walked in, I almost didn't recognize him. His hair was unkempt, eyes hollow, the arrogance gone. He stopped at the table, voice low. Thanks for meeting me. I was curious, I said, sipping my coffee. What could possibly bring you back here? He hesitated. Claire is leaving me. I raised an eyebrow. Oh, trouble in paradise? He rubbed his temples. She used me, Ava. She was feeding information to a competitor. Everything's collapsing. I tilted my head. That sounds familiar. Betrayal, lies, emotional damage. Where have I heard that before? Ava, please. His voice cracked. I know I hurt you, but I didn't deserve this. I laughed softly. Didn't you? You taught her everything, Liam. Maybe you just met your own reflection. He leaned forward, desperation bleeding through his words. I'm not that person anymore. I miss you. I miss us. I looked at him, really looked. The man who once made my heart race now just made me tired. You miss control, I said quietly. Not me. He flinched. It's not true. It is, I said. You miss the version of me who believed every promise, every lie. She's gone. He reached for my hand, but I pulled it back. Ava, I'm sorry. I was stupid. I thought she was what I needed, someone ambitious, connected. But she never cared. You did. His words hit nothing inside me. Just echoes against walls I'd already rebuilt. And now you care because you've lost everything, I said. He swallowed. Please, can we start over? I smiled not cruelly, but with pity. Start over? Liam, you ended me once. Do you think I'd hand you the match again? He looked down. So that's it. That's peace, I said. You taught me what I never want again. Silence settled between us. Outside, people laughed, cups clinked, life moved on. He finally whispered, You've changed. I had to, I replied. You don't survive fire by staying soft. His eyes glistened. I wish I realized what I had before I lost it. I stood, placing my cup down gently. You didn't lose me, Liam. You threw me away. He said nothing. I left him sitting there haunted, small, and drowning in the same emptiness he once left me in. That night, I opened my blog and typed, sometimes the heart that broke you ends up broken by its own reflection. And when it does, you don't glow. You watch, you breathe, and you let go. I clicked post and whispered, "Goodbye, Liam." For the first time, the word didn't hurt. It felt like freedom. When I saw the email, I almost deleted it. "I read your blog," it began, signed Ethan Blake, Clara's ex-fiancé. My pulse quickened as I called the number attached. "Ethan?" I asked when he answered double quotes yes. "I hope I'm not crossing a line," he said. "I just wanted you to know Clara did the same to me. She ruined my company, my name. All for Liam." I leaned back in my chair, voice steady. "Then I guess we share scars from the same person." He chuckled bitterly. "Scars, yes. But maybe we can turn them into weapons." I paused. "What do you have in mind?" "Proof," he said. "Emails, bank records, messages, everything showing how she manipulated both of us. There's a charity gala next week. She'll be there, flaunting her new brand deal. I say we expose her." My heart thudded. Revenge wasn't my plan. But maybe this wasn't revenge, it was justice. "I'll be there," I said. The night of the gala, I wore black silk. Simple, sharp, untouchable. As I stepped into the hall, flashes of light bounced off chandeliers and diamonds, but all I saw was them, Liam and Clara, laughing like royalty. Ethan appeared beside me, offering his arm. "Ready?" "More than ever," I said, forcing a smile. "Let's end her performance." When we reached the stage, the host handed Clara the mic. Our visionary partner, Clara Monroe. Her voice oozed charm. "Thank you. Tonight, I stand for truth, hard work, and loyalty." Ethan interrupted, his voice slicing through the applause. "Truth and loyalty? That's rich, coming from someone who built her empire on betrayal." The crowd hushed. Clara's smile twitched. "Excuse me?" I stepped forward, my heels clicking like punctuation. "You should listen, Clara. It's your turn to hear the truth." Liam's eyes widened. "Ava, what are you doing?" "Finishing what you both started," I said. Ethan handed the host a flash drive. "Play it." Screens lit up, emails, messages, voice notes. Clara's voice filled the room. "Ethan's name will mean nothing once I'm with Liam. His contacts are all I need." Gasps rippled through the hall. Whispers spread like wildfire. Clara's mask cracked. "Those are fake," she shouted, but her voice trembled. Ethan smiled coldly. "Signed and dated, sweetheart." Liam turned to her, face pale. "You used me?" Her silence was louder than denial. I met her eyes. "You once enjoyed watching me crumble. How does it feel now?" She tried to speak, but cameras flashed and people began to back away. Her perfect world was imploding publicly, gloriously. Ethan leaned toward me. "You did it?" "No," I whispered. "She did." When it was over, I walked past Liam without a word. His voice cracked behind me. "Ava, wait." I didn't turn. Some victories aren't loud, they're silent, final, and clean. That night, I posted on my blog, "When the truth burns, let it," because ashes make the strongest foundation. And I smiled for the first time, not from spite, but freedom. The city lights looked softer that night, or maybe I just wasn't chasing shadows anymore. My heels clicked on the pavement, echoing through the quiet streets. The air felt lighter, empty, but peaceful. I whispered to myself, so this is what winning feels like. No fireworks. No music. Just silence. My phone buzzed. Sophie's name glowed on the screen. "Hey," I answered, voice tired but steady. "I saw the news," she said, excitement bursting through the line. "You did it. Clara's finished." I laughed softly. "I didn't destroy her, Sophie. She just showed everyone who she really was." "Well, whatever you did, I'm proud of you," she said. "You sound different." "Maybe I am," I said, glancing at the stars. "It's strange. I thought revenge would make me feel powerful, but it just made space for quiet." Quiet's not bad, she said. Quiet means healing. I nodded to myself. Maybe, but it feels weird not to hurt anymore. Then don't fill the silence, she whispered. Just rest in it. When we hung up, I stood there for a while, letting her words settle. The wind brushed against my skin like forgiveness. The next morning, Daniel called. Good morning, Ava, he said. I wanted to congratulate you. That blog of yours, it's become a movement. I smiled faintly. I just wrote what I felt, and that's why it works, he said. You turned pain into purpose. I'm promoting you creative director. You've earned it. Daniel, I exhaled slowly. Thank you. For believing in me when I couldn't? He laughed. You just needed reminding of who you were. The rest was all you. When the call ended, I sat by my window with my laptop. Thousands of messages filled my inbox, people from all over the world sharing their stories. Your words saved me. I left him because of your blog. I finally found myself again. I read each one. Tears blurring the screen, not from sadness, but from something softer. Hope, maybe. For the first time, I didn't see Liam's face when I thought of my past. I saw my own stronger, clearer. I whispered, You did it, Ava. No one heard. No one needed to. Outside, the dawn broke quietly, brushing gold over the rooftops. There was no revenge left to chase. No pain left to feed. Just me, alive, free, and finally enough. It was an ordinary afternoon. Emails, coffee, self-chatter around the office. I was reviewing campaign notes when the receptionist's voice came through the intercom. Ava, there's someone here to see you. Says his name is Liam. For a moment I froze. Then I whispered, Send him in. The door opened slowly. Liam stepped in, clutching a small bouquet of white lily. His eyes looked sunken, his suit wrinkled, his confidence gone. Hi, he said quietly. I leaned back in my chair. Liam, it's been a while. He nodded, voice trembling. Yeah, months. I almost didn't come, but I didn't know where else to go. I folded my arms. Why are you here? He placed the flowers on my desk. I've lost everything, Ava, Clara, the company, my friends all gone. And when I think of peace, of anything good, I think of you. I stared at the flowers, then at him. Peace, I repeated softly. You used to call me your peace before you broke me. He swallowed hard. I know, I ruined everything. I didn't come to ask for forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I finally understand what I did. I sighed. You understand now because you felt the emptiness you gave me? He looked down. You always saw through me. I did, I said. And I kept hoping you'd see me back. But you never did, not until it was convenient. He took a step closer. You look different, stronger. I am, I replied. Because I stopped letting your shadow define my light. His eyes glistened. I loved you, Ava. I still do. I smiled gently. You loved the version of me that existed to make you feel whole. That's not love, Liam. That's dependency. He flinched as if my words cut deeper than he expected. So that's it? No second chance? There's no chance to give, I said. You taught me what love isn't, and for that, strangely, I'm grateful. He nodded slowly, lips trembling. I deserve that. Silence stretched between us. Then he whispered, Goodbye. Goodbye, Liam, I said softly. He turned and walked out. No dramatic exit, no pleading, just quiet acceptance. When the door closed, I looked at the lily on my desk. Beautiful, fragile, temporary. I opened the window. Letting the wind catch their petals. Peace didn't come from getting even. It came from letting go. And for the first time, I didn't look back. The cafe hadn't changed, the same soft hum of conversation, the same cinnamon scent drifting through the air. I took my usual seat by the window, sunlight spilling across the table. The barista smiled. Haven't seen you in months, Ava. I returned the smile. Been busy building an empire? He laughed lightly. I saw your book in the window display From Ashes to Empire. That's you, huh? That's me, I said, wrapping my hands around the coffee cup. It started as pain, ended as purpose. A woman at the next table leaned over. Are you the author? The one who wrote about betrayal and rebirth? I nodded, guilty. She grinned. Your words got me through my divorce. You made me believe I could start again. Her voice trembled slightly, and I felt something in me shift, something warm, proud. That's why I wrote it, I said softly. So women could see there's power after destruction? My phone buzzed. Sophie's message lit the screen. Your book hit #1. I couldn't help but laugh. #1, I whispered to myself. Who would have thought? A man at the counter raised his cup toward me. To survivors, he said. I lifted mine. To builders, I replied. For a moment, I just sat there watching strangers smile, hearing snippets of laughter, feeling the pulse of life around me. It wasn't loneliness anymore. It was freedom. Daniel's voice echoed in my memory from our last call. You turned pain into influence, Ava. That's rare. I had laughed then too. I didn't plan it. I just wrote my truth. He'd said, and that's exactly why people believed it. Now, staring out the window, I realized he was right. My story wasn't about revenge, it was about resurrection. I whispered into the air, thank you for breaking me. A few people looked up, but I didn't care. My voice was steady, because it taught me how to rebuild. I stood, leaving a small note and a tip under my cup. On the napkin, I wrote one line. Every ending can be rewritten. As I walked toward the door. Sunlight spilled across my face, warm and weightless. I didn't look back. The girl who once begged for love was gone. The woman who built her empire from ashes had finally taken her throne. And for the first time, my story truly belonged to me.